You're listening to a Countout Podcast.
Cowardly Pants, Glorious Shorts. The boys from the Shorts are back. We survived World Tag League. I've done very little. Curtis's podcast at 862 hours worth of World Tag League content over on the fucking Super J-Cast. How it do, Curtis?
Bro, let me tell you what, man. Like, do you think that right now you could talk for 5.5 hours in the next 3 days about World Tag League?
No, I'd have to kill myself.
It's awful. Luckily, like Booze does a lot of talking, so because she only gets on like 2 or 3 episodes like a year for Super J-Cast.
She'd be fresh, you know what I mean? And her, you know, she's got her fresh takes and her things like that she can get out, so she can carry that for you a little bit. Whereas you're doing this weekly, multiple podcast, and then you're like, what else can I say about this? But she all over it, so that's good.
Yeah. Let me tell you right now, I think I've run out of things
to say about it.
To say about everything right now. I'm just busted, man. I don't know, because like, okay,
I'm just busted. The Curtis Spears story.
I'm broken. You know, like, no, I'm thinking about it. Like, I don't know if it's outside right now. It's December in the Northern Hemisphere. We're like 7 days away from the longest night of the year.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know if maybe that's doing something for me. I don't know what's going on, but I'm just like, fuck, bro. Shitty.
Tell me about this, because you say longest night, and I start thinking about Green Lantern and Darkest Night, which is a sick comic. But what's the longest
30 days
night?
of night even.
Yeah,
so the longest
sick. That's drawn by Ben Templesmith. He's from Perth.
Oh, is he from Perth?
Yeah.
I've met Ben Templesmith. He looks like my friend Gimpy.
Oh, I don't know who Gimpy is, nor have I met Ben Templesmith in real life. But I do. Actually, no, I did. I have a signed copy of 30 Days of Night somewhere. He did a signing here somewhere, I'm pretty sure.
I got him to sign my copy of Criminal Macabre. Another one,
which is great as well. Yeah, but he's a Perth dude.
That's pretty cool.
What's with you and Perth people? Because I've immediately derailed everything.
Really love them.
Yeah, I know, but like, you end up podcasting with a dude from Perth. You've always been a big TMDK fan. Ben Templesmith. Perth is the most isolated city in the world. We don't have that much going on. What is your fucking universal fucking connection to Perth? It's weird,
Stop
right?
being so cool at things.
Yeah, I know, right? Fuck, it's so hard being this cool here. But to be honest, I think it's because, like, there be nothing to do. I mean, it's a very nice place, but if you're not like a big beach goer and stuff like that, I think it is a place that breeds creativity a little bit. You know what I mean? We don't have as many big concerts and stuff as other cities and things like that. So I think people find their own way, you know what I mean, and invest in themselves. And I think that's why we've got, we've had so many cool bands come out of here and creative people and stuff like that. Also, because it is a really small scene, you know what Australia would be like. It's tall poppy city. So you got to fucking work, because people are just looking to tear you down in this city. They'll cut you down before you get anywhere. Yeah.
Tall Poppy City?
Tall Poppy Syndrome. Have you heard of it?
Tall Poppy. I've never heard of Tall Poppy Syndrome. Please tell me more.
So, really? Tall Poppy Syndrome is a thing where, I guess, like, poppies, when they grow, certain ones will grow higher than the others. Yeah. And then it is I'm not a botanist, but I know what it means as far as I think. it may be that the others then suffocated and it dies or whatever. But the idea is that anytime somebody rises above, they get cut down from below.
See, I've heard of this as crab bucket syndrome. I was telling my wife this the other day. Evidently, and this is something I was told when I was in school, when you have a bunch of crabs in a bucket, if one tries to like start climbing out of the bucket, the others will pull it back down.
Well, that's I've never heard of crab bucket syndrome, so it's the same thing, right? So yeah, there's a lot of that can happen here, and so I think it makes people have to work harder to stand out, and as a result, iron sharpens iron, and you end up better. I think kind of how it
iron
works.
within, iron without. Yeah.
Exactly. So what we talk about?
I think longest night. So
yes,
literally
okay.
like because of the Earth's rotation and the axis that it's on here in from where I'm at in America, we were at we were closer to the equator, a little bit closer to the equator. So like I was used to the sun going down at 6:30 or so in the evening. Now that I've moved higher in not in elevation but in latitude, it's I'm on a similar latitude to like northern Canada, and so like the sun goes down at like 4 p.m. and it doesn't come up till almost 8 a.m. And then so the longest night is when it's like longest, like literally the longest night of the year, and then everything the sun starts to stay out longer.
And how
like
long does it get?
Minutes every 2 weeks.
Like, what's the longest? We're not talking 30 days of night scenario, but what is
No,
I'm not that
longest? The longest night literally is like sun goes down like shortly before 4 and comes up after like almost like 8:30 in the morning.
Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah, that's fucking awesome. I love the dark. Like, how fucking smart was Ben coming up with that idea? You know, the month full of darkness. Let's have vampires attack that fucking town. That's pretty smart. That's a great gimmick for a.
Well, it was. So what happened with that? I heard about this the other day because like that's one of my favorite comic books.
Yeah. Has anybody listened to this? If you haven't read 30 Days of Night or even just watched the movie starring Josh Hartnett?
Josh Hartnett,
yeah, exactly. That does it really, really well. They did a fucking good job with that movie, but the book is great, and Ben's art is really individual.
I think the book is better. The movies tends to stretch things out a little bit more.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I think the book was a little bit more concise. There was some cool fucking shit in that movie though, like what's his name? Bobby Elvis from fucking Sons of Anarchy. What's that guy's name? Mark Boone Jr.
Yeah.
He's fucking harsh in that movie.
Yeah.
Fucking runs that thresher into the fucking vampires and shit. Starts throwing dynamite out at him.
Yeah. It was a fucking sick movie, dude. It's really cool.
Really was. No, so yeah, that was a screenplay that Steve Niles wrote. When he was in Hollywood, he was trying to write screenplays. No one bought it as a screenplay. They just didn't think it was good enough.
Yeah.
So he turned it into a comic book that he published with Ben Temple-Smith.
Yes.
And then based on how awesome the comic book was, they sold it as a movie.
Yeah.
So it was a movie that became a comic book that became a movie.
There you go. Went full circle. Speaking of Perth people inventing things in pop culture, did I ever tell you that a dude I know, my friend Tara, her husband Shane, I've only met him a couple of times, invented the Transformer Drift.
Dude named Shane.
Yeah, Shane McCarthy. He invented Drift, the samurai transformer.
Oh, whoa, that's rad.
So he was writing some Transformers comics and was it IGN was doing it for a time? Was it Image Comics? I don't remember.
Devil's Due, IDW.
IDW, that's it. So he was writing for IDW for a time, and in his little run, they're like, oh, do whatever you want. So he just invented this Transformer Drift, which is like, Drift, the samurai kind of drift car. And he sort of had like he was like a cameo, and then I think he ended up doing his own series. And then, when it was time to do that movie or whatever, they were just cherry picking different Transformer ideas. And they're like, yeah, we'll do the samurai one. So like fucking, next thing Shane knows, he's got fucking action figures of this dude he invented just like in Target and stuff. It's crazy.
Oh, that's so fucking cool.
Yeah.
Dude, cool. Have you read the comic book Void Rivals?
No, but I think
it came out.
Is this the one you were telling me about where it has like the twist at the end?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I haven't read it, but I want to. Yeah, it sounds sick.
Oh my god, can I ruin it for everybody that's a listener? It's been out for 6 months. If they don't fucking know, they don't care.
If you haven't read that and you want to read it, fast forward a minute.
Yeah. So Void Rivals, basically, it's like two people who are engaged in intergalactic war. It's like enemy mine, two fucking spacefaring factions are at war. They crash land on this planet together, and they start like using their technology to like reverse engineer like ways to get off the planet and stuff like that. The technology that they're reversing is a fucking Autobot. It's a stealth fucking Transformers comic based in like it's super far into the future when like after the Cybertron war and shit.
Yeah.
I was reading it and I was like, oh fuck.
Was it which Transformer was it? Was it like Jetfire or something you said?
It was Jetfire. It might have been Jetfire. It might have been I think it was Jetfire. I think you're right.
Yeah.
But it's written by the guy who created Walking Dead and Invincible.
Robert Kirkman.
Robert Kirkman, yes.
Yeah. So essentially robots in disguise for real. Entire comic book in disguise.
Robots in disguise. It's comic book in disguise. Yeah, dude. Super
That's
bad.
sick. Yeah, that's dope. I'm going to have to check that out. Anyway, we're a wrestling podcast. Nobody knows that yet. But why don't you do our intro
So
that we
much
always
funner
forget?
to talk about comic books
I
right
know.
now than
Don't worry,
I'll
I'll carry the conversation a little bit here because I want to
Please do.
have more of a dialogue, and it's not going to be so much about the wrestling, but more about what surrounds that. So,
Well,
tell them who we are.
thank you for that.
Mhm.
Because usually my name, Curtis Spears, usually I'm the one who carries your bad friend Rafe Houston. Hey, how's it going, Rafe?
Yeah, I'm all right. I don't know if carry is the right term. I think
Well,
we
I have
work
to carry you
side
through
by
the
side.
happiness.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, yes. when
what I meant.
when I'm on the fucking edge, when I'm on the brink, Curtis is the one holding the back of my coat and stopping me from going over, kind of thing. So
Yeah,
there's that.
definitely. Because man, it's hard sometimes not to just like tip into the fucking the void. You know,
It is.
It's
It is
pretty
hard.
terrible.
It is hard, especially when you're doing something like this, where you're trying to produce content about it, have thoughts, ingest something, and then if you're doing a lot of this, and that starts to eat up your personal time beyond what you're willing to allocate to it and stuff like that, you start to burn out on it. You start to be like, yo, I can't be, why do I do this? Is how it is. And it becomes not fun. And then you add the social media and stuff like that. I feel like lately we've had a little bit of a theme of like complaining about podcasting and doing podcasting and New Japan stuff. and we don't want to be there, but everybody just needs to understand that like we love doing this show. We love doing this show together, and we have no intention of stopping that. We've just like both been podcasters in other ventures for years now. And so we're kind of hitting that sort of point where it's like, oh, fuck. We're really hitting the grind, you know, but we're actively having conversations between ourselves to make it more fun. We're like, how can how can we not feel like it? Because I guess one more quick point, and I'll let you run with it, is that like my day-to-day job is being like a charming, helpful dude, right? Like that's my job. I work in sales. At the moment, I work in education sales and stuff like that. So I'm always meeting, you know, new teachers. Hey, how you going? I'm here to help, blah, blah, blah. Enthusiastic, da, da, da. When I get home, I don't want to be enthusiastic or nice to fucking anybody. And so at the moment, when it comes like ideas of like, oh, what am I going to do with my spare time? The idea of like getting somebody on here and doing an interview like I do with Faces and Feels is just really exhausting for me to think about. You know what I mean? Not that they're not cool, not that I've still got heaps of cool friends I want to interview that I think I'll have great conversations with and stuff like that. It's just the entire process of doing that and being on is really exhausting for me at the moment, which is why I've been seeking peaceful hobbies like sitting down and painting and stuff, just because I'm like, I don't want to be spoken to at all, you know. The great thing about doing Okada Shorts with my bud Curtis is that we don't have to put on a show for fucking anybody. You know what I mean? Like we're putting on a show, but I mean like we can just be ourselves. I don't have to like charm Curtis and sell him on me as a podcast host anymore. He's stuck with me. Too fucking bad. He's going to have to deal with the good and the bad. And right now, you know,
for better or for worse,
Curtis did Super J-Cast, our fucking podcast fathers, you know, our friends, they take time off at World Tag League and they ask for people to jump in and, you know, be guest hosts and stuff. And Curtis did that, and he ended up doing a couple of episodes based around, you know, a tournament. And that stuff you have to watch a lot of content. So it's like the watching of the content, the ingesting of it and having a take and an opinion of the content and then talking about it for hours. Then I go, want to talk about World Tag League this week? And you're like, fuck no. Like, it's how it goes.
That's the thing is, it's not just watching it. It's watching it to dissect it. You know, like the people, you know, if you're a gynecologist, you don't want to go home and look at vaginas all day, or do you? Maybe you do.
I don't know. It depends if you're a freak like that.
Yeah, I guess. No, like I think if it's your job, if you're watching it like it's your job, which is, I mean, that's how they do it. They break it down. Like I don't know how the fucking Stiff Boys can do weekly podcasts, like talking, because they talk for hours.
Yeah.
You know, how can they do that? I have no fucking clue, bud. Because like
I think the We Work Stiff.
I still watch it and vibe.
Their secret, yeah, exactly. Like I don't want to be breaking down details of anything. I just like talking about what's going on about it. And I think we're starting to really sort of find how that's going to work for us. But like with them, they do definitely like they pick the stories they want to follow, you know, and they don't really get bogged down with covering everything. They're like, we are going to talk about this thing with Sonata or this thing with Shooter or whatever. And then they really get into that, you know, the details in that, but they're not covering everything in that sense. You know what I mean? With that detail. And they've said to me, they're like, that is sort of the secret. Like when they do their drafts and stuff, they're who they've got in their team, they're the only matches they're going to watch for the most part with any kind of, you know, detail, because they're like, I'm just going to follow the storyline that works for me, you know? And I think there's something to be said there. And I think that's sort of how I've always watched New Japan in a sense, is that I kind of just catch the bits I want or whatever, and I watch the big shows and stuff. And then I guess when you start a podcast, you start feeling like, oh, maybe we need to be watching everything and have a take on everything and stuff. And that's just, I know, for me, it's not sustainable with everything else I do in my day-to-day life to see everything and have a take on everything.
Yeah, 100%. Like I can't sit down and watch every hour of every day. If I did, I would end up hating it.
Yeah.
I'd end up absolutely hating this company that I fucking love.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? When I step away from it and then I just jump into like, oh, what's this? I got home from work, World Tag League Night 8 is on or whatever, and it's live. I'll just put it on while I'm, you know, doing stuff and sit down. I'll have a great time because I'm not like trying to take in matches or I need to have a take on this or whatever. I just, a young lion runs out, let's go. And then I just like have fun and New Japan is on and there's parts I get and parts I don't. And I think that's sort of like the best way for me to watch it, you know?
And me too, 100%. Yeah, I can't, I especially taking in so fucking much.
Yeah.
To really like, to take that into yourself, to twist it, to come up with a way that you can look at it that no one's seen it before, to try and put back into the world. Nah, man, that ain't me.
You know what? I can't do that in advance anyway. Half the takes I come up on, like with on this show, I'm in the middle of a diatribe about something and it just comes to me and then I just start off down a tangent, you know, because like things are firing. But I can't just sit alone in a room and come up with a fucking take or whatever. That's just not.
Yeah, no wonder Joel and Damon take like a month off every year, man.
Yeah,
I don't.
So they're the best at it, man. They do so well. It's really, really impressive what they do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, getting into this all segues, I guess, into today, which I want to talk about the first ever Rafe 180.
The Rafe 180. And
Exactly.
see, this is when we talked about it, you said that you know, we're going to talk a little bit about the World Tag League, and I was just like, oh god, I've talked so much about the World Tag League. And like then I watched the finale of the World Tag League and I went, you know, this is my least favorite option that could have happened.
Mhm.
Was it a bad match? Absolutely fucking not.
Mm.
But was it 40 minutes of me going, god fucking damn it? You know, like,
Yeah,
this is not what I wanted. And yeah, we always say like, don't, you know, if they don't go with your booking, your brain booking, you know, your dream booking, then that's not on them.
yeah. And it doesn't necessarily mean what they've done is bad, nor does it mean that they can't make it good. They've obviously got a plan, right? And so the scenario for the Rafe 180, the first ever Rafe 180, normally known as the Amy 180, is, for those who don't know the story, is my wife is really black and white when it comes to watching wrestling with me. She either loves people or she hates them, right? And there has been a few instances where she's like, this person fucking sucks. I don't care about them. And they do something 180 on the spot. You'll just see it happen in real life. And she's like, and now I'm ride or die with this person. And there's been only a few people who have ever had that happen for them with the Amy 180. So some of them that I can think about, ELP or Phantasm as she calls him is one. Gabe Kidd, when he versed Sonata, was maybe my favorite and most famous one because she's like, I don't give a fuck about this dude. I don't understand what he says. And then he just yelled, fuck you, Sonata, really loud one time. And she's like, this is the best guy in this company. And Jack Swagger when he picked up her purse, like live 180, you suck. Oh, did you drop your purse? We the people. It was like that. It was amazing. But for me, the way the finals of the World Tag League played out, I think is how it plays out for like a lot of people on the internet. So I wasn't able to watch it live. It pops up in my news feed. Not only did I find out that the final was what it was. So I was already down on it. I was like, really? TMDK and the War Dogs are both out. So we're going with what I think is the least interesting option, yeah? And then the next day comes around or whatever, and the results get spoiled, and it's Bishamon holding the trophies and shit. And I'm like, oh, God damn it. Like, I'm like, really? On this fucking ice-cold Wrestle Kingdom card, we're just going to fucking lob another snowball in there? I'm like, really?
What are y'all motherfuckers thinking in here on this day?
I was like, are they not even trying anymore? And so I want to read real quick my Nerd Rage messages to Curtis.
Oh, please do.
Because I was fucking pissed off, and I did what everybody does as soon as they read something they don't like. They haven't watched the match. They take to Twitter and they drop this shit before they've even seen it, yeah? And then the next day I went and I go, okay, I'm just going to watch the match from start to finish, and there's a little package and stuff like that, and I watch the match, and then I'll give you my thoughts afterwards, yeah? So hang on, where are we? Let's start. Okay. So I haven't watched yet, ... but I've seen the results. What the fuck is the thought process here? You know what our ice-cold Wrestle Kingdom needs? The babyface tag champs winning and then selecting the guys they literally just beat to a friendly contest. What about all the red-hot teams that people cared about, though? Fuck them, they can stay home. Follow-up message, mere seconds later. Nobody on God's green be watching Bishamon like, yo, these my fucking dudes. No. Everyone is like,
Bish for real.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, everyone is like, oh, how nice for these long-time good hand dojo boys to have something nice to do. They are a participation trophy. And
They
Curtis,
are a participation trophy.
Curtis, oh shit, somebody is lit. I said, like, look at the Wrestle Kingdom card. It's like they are deliberately trying to make the coldest card in human history. Whoever wins should throw those strong titles in the garbage, though. It's a meaningless brand at this point. Just let it all die. Curtis, they're getting rid of all those fucking belts. Fucking who cares? I said, not I. This promotion is doing its best to make me not care about anything currently. Curtis, fuck it, bro. Let's become an All Japan podcast. My reply, gross.
Kento Miyahara. You and me, Kento Miyahara. Let's fucking go.
My reply, gross.
We're going to call ourselves fucking Carnival of Champions or something.
Yeah, let's go. The fucking two pillars of the fucking apocalypse. Is there a chance there is a story to play out here? Can War Dogs and TMDK backdoor their way into the match? Fatal four-way. Like, I don't know, like, I know we don't trust Western wrestlers anymore, but the War Dogs were the right team to win. You said, I doubt it. It's just an all-round loss. Okay.
It's all-around loss, 100%. And I think that was me like sitting in the fucking funk that I'm in right now. This is an all around loss.
Yeah.
Like
that's how you're feeling. Then we end up teeing up the time and stuff for this podcast. Then, okay, I just watched the final. It's a Rafe 180. I'm into it. Love the bish now. And you're like, well, shit.
I understand. It was a good match. It was a really
It was
good
great.
match.
So the way I watched it was just, I didn't watch the whole show. I just pressed play on the new app on this match. It begins with a promo package. Now, I will say about the promo package, I do think that like New Japan could do a little bit more to help Bishamon, because they kind of even make him look like fucking dorks, because the music they play leading up to it's like a boom, like making them look like fucking idiots. And I'm like, why are they playing this like comedy? Like, it's not like hard guitar, like it's like the fucking third wind. It's none of that. It's like, and it's Yoshihashi's face. And you're like, why are they making them look like clowns, right?
They're out here playing fucking Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Basically they are. Go watch that fucking thing. I wonder if through the power of the fucking internet, I can play this fucking promo package, because it's seriously, I feel like it's relevant to this conversation. So I'm going to try and load that up in the meantime. I don't know how this fucking new Japan app works. Fucking what is all this bullshit?
I can't off the top of my head for the life of me. I'm sitting here trying. I cannot think of how that music goes.
No, I need to show you.
It was fucking beige carpet. It was fucking
dude, it's
elevator
so
music.
bad.
It just in the background for me. I didn't even give a shit.
Nah, I got you. Hang on. When you fucking hear this, you're gonna be like, yeah, I'm with you. All right. So episodes, but okay. It has been growing on me. I just don't know how it works. All right, hang on. It's probably gonna play some fucking shit first, but give me a moment here. You're going to hear somebody cheer or something, because it's going to open up mid. Oh, there we go. All right. So, okay, let's get back to the start. All right. Now let's have a listen as a team. This is the promo package before the match starts. Okay.
Okay.
Like, is this fucking Taguchi's entrance music? Like, what is this?
I'm watching it in your glasses right now, which is pretty fun.
See what I mean? Anyway, so
is that cool? Is that cool in Japan?
No,
I know things are kind of like, it's very weird.
I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, it starts me immediately. I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like, I'm like, this is maybe, I don't know. I haven't really fucking watched every single World Tag League from the start. Maybe that's the World Tag League theme this year and I'm being harsh. Either way, it's ridiculous. But so it starts, you know, we get both the intros and stuff, and the match is quite a long match. It's like over 40 minutes. I think it's like 48
minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, 48 minutes or something. And as it goes, so long, right? And I was like, okay, yeah. But obviously, it's a New Japan main event. They always get it done. And the thing about Bishamon, they always get the crowd by the end. The problem is that for the most part, they're pretty ice cold going into it. Always, you know, like I said, nobody's like, these my fucking dudes, like, because then, you know, Goto's a little bit past it, and Yoshihashi isn't a cool guy, and so you kind of look at him like dorks a little bit. Is how I look at them, right? And ELP and Hikuleo come in, and I like both dudes, but again, they still feel like a bit of a slap together tag team. There's no real history there. He's only just been dropped in GOD. We need to give Hikuleo something to do. So it feels like a thrown together tag team with what was essentially in the day originally a thrown together tag team, right? So, okay, this is where we are. They're doing their own guys and stuff. But as the match went, obviously everybody worked really hard. ELP fucking worked his ass off in this match. I mean, they all did.
ELP, Jesus Christ. ELP is one of the most, like, the sympathetic baby face. Like,
dude, it was so impressive what he did in that match. The level of physicality and like punching bagness, and then the creative stuff they were doing, like at the end when he's just hitting Goto with every one of Goto's own finishes and shit, and like when he like fucking hits Goto in the stomach, fucking gets Yoshihashi up on his back and then hits him with their tag team finisher off Goto's back and stuff. Really creative stuff. Hikuleo going, nah, you don't do the fucking our finisher. I'm going to do it. We're going to put these dudes away. The fucking, the Bishamon finisher on Hikuleo off the fucking apron through the table. They were all working really hard. And by the end, I was like, that was really fucking cool. But you know what did it for me was at the end, I realized, I was like, I'm watching this in Japanese. I didn't flick it over to the English commentary. And I flicked it over just in time for Chris Charlton to translate what Goto was saying when he picks up the mic, right? And I knew they were going to challenge them or whatever, but it actually all came full circle for me. And I was like, oh, I am really into this, because he pointed out that, like, you know what? At the start of Tag League, you beat us. We've just beat you now, One World Tag League, but we still don't know who's better. You know what I mean? It's 1-1. And he's like, so let's make it for all the gold and let's make it a World Tag League. I mean, at Wrestle Kingdom, right? And I was like, okay, that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like when I read it, I'd kind of forgotten the thing. I was like, oh, they're just giving him a charity case and we can't be bothered bringing in another team, whatever, but I was like, oh, it's wrestling booking 101, but it works, right? And then the interactions with them and like, ELP's in the corner and Yoshihashi comes over and it's like, good job or whatever. And he's like, help me up. And they shake hands. And like, you felt like everybody in this ring really feels like they genuinely have respect for each other. And then as a result, this all feels real, and I know I just kind of got that little bit of a goosebumpy kind of feeling as he was talking to them and stuff. I was like, oh, this feels real. And I really like this now. And I was like, now I actually want to see these guys work again, because they were so creative in some of those spots and ways they did it. I'm like, how could they? I felt like they did everything that those two tag teams could do against each other. So I'm really excited to see actually how they can take it to the next level, and who will end up standing at the end. Like, will this be the ultimate, like, coronation of Bishamon? Like, this is our last big win everything, and then they get cycled out? Or is this the, coronation of a brand new team that they're going to put stocks into? Like, are we going to see an extended run from ELP and Hikuleo, like as GOD, moving forward as the heavyweight champs, and that's really interesting. And then that got me thinking about what the other teams would look like against those teams. You know what I mean? Like, what if ELP in that win, and then, their interactions with War Dogs and stuff after that was really interesting to me.
Yeah, I think at this point you've had Bishamon as tag team champions for at Wrestle Kingdom. It'll be 365 days, right?
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
And that's cool, but and they've turned back a lot of challengers, a lot of great challengers in that time. They beat FTR, they've beaten Aussie Open, they've beat all these guys, TMDK and such. Some of the best wrestlers, some of the best tag teams on the planet. Possibly the 3 best tag teams on the planet. And that's cool. Great. I think a fresh perspective would be, we've seen after the G1 that this company really does have a soft spot for Hikuleo.
Yeah.
They've got big plans for Hikuleo. I think that ELP, we would like good things to come for ELP, because there's a chance that, we may not have ELP. We could convince ELP to stay and commit to New Japan long term. Maybe there's a chance for that. That would be great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I don't want to next man up another fucking person when if someone else decided to jump ship.
Yeah.
So like maybe ELP and Hikuleo winning, not only is it a fresh tag team to fend off these challengers like War Dogs and TMDK, but it would be the best thing in establishing a new hierarchy.
Yeah. And also a new a new vibe for next year, because Wrestle Kingdom at the moment feels like, I guess, like sort of the final finish line for like a lot of talent. You know what I mean? And their big pushes. Like, it almost feels like New Japan is like, hey guys, thanks for all the years of service. Here's your last big showing at Wrestle Kingdom, because next year all these young dudes are up and you're all cycling out. You know what I mean? Is how it feels like. I don't really believe in participation trophies in wrestling. So I kind of feel like, I know they want to finish stuff up, but I would prefer them just to start with younger people now. But I think New Japan has always sort of looked at Wrestle Kingdom as their finish line, and they want to do things right by their talent and stuff. So I feel like they're like, hey, here's your last big match, dudes. You know what I mean? Because after this, it's a new era, like next year. So I wonder if New Year's Dash, we're going to start to see immediate kind of pushes and movements towards cycling in the new talent into bigger spots.
Yeah, I think it's so funny because we keep saying that Wrestle Kingdom's so cold. It's fucking, where's the heat, where's the fire, and all these things like that. But like, that's exactly what we were saying last year, isn't it?
I don't know. I don't remember last year. That's way too long ago.
We did a whole thing where it was like, fuck it, look at all the people that were left off of Wrestle Kingdom. You could book a great Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah, we did do that. Yeah.
On Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah, which we'll be doing again this year, by the way. Sure.
Yeah. We're going to Thanos snap everybody again.
Well, yeah, absolutely. That was a fun episode, actually. So, yeah.
But what, because there's such a cold air around Wrestle Kingdom, like, what can they do? I mean, you just said you took this big 180 on Bish, and that's cool. Have you gained any momentum for Wrestle Kingdom?
Look, I want to see that match. And I'm like, I love the Bish, but I guess, like, I still don't want him to win at Wrestle Kingdom. You know what I mean? I think I just, like, don't think their match is going to be absolute trash. Let's have a quick look at the card, actually. Let's just talk Wrestle Kingdom just real fast, and let's just see if there's anything that, stokes our fires a little bit. So the opening match is Tag Team Strong Championship match, yeah? So the Bish and ELP and Hikuleo. I would say I am excited for that now. I want to see that match happen, and I'm curious as to which way it'll go, but I actually am pretty confident that's going to be super fun, yeah? Okay, next up is the IWGP USA, what is it? They're calling it Global Heavyweight Championship Inaugural Champion.
Yeah, the new GHC title.
Oh, is that what it
Heavyweight
is?
Championship.
Oh, what are they doing? That's Noah's. Is that what GHC stands for at Noah?
No. Noah's is a Global Honored Crown.
But either way, the initials are the same. That's a weird choice. Will Ospreay versus Moxley versus Finlay. So again, I think it'd be a fun match.
Let's go, Davey Chan.
But because of all the shit flying around it, we're wanting the heel to win, which is weird. But I do want him. I want to see Davey rock up in the best shape of his life and fucking win that match. That's what I want to see happen. Then never openweight championship match, Tama Tonga between Shingo Takagi. Like, who cares? There was literally no build at all. We've seen them wrestle a million times. Shingo just suddenly had the title out of nowhere, and now this is their, 100th match in fucking 2 months? I don't know. Maybe it's the 3rd. But either way, I could not care less about that. And I love Shingo, but I don't care. New Japan World TV Championship match, Tanahashi versus Zack Sabre Jr. Again, love both guys, but again, no build. They were in a 3-way match against each other. Fucking Tanahashi fucking looked at the belt. Oh, cool, let's wrestle at Wrestle Kingdom. Great. It'll be fun. Tanahashi's hair will look great. He'll look real pretty. They'll have a great match, but who cares? IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship match, Takahashi and El Desperado. We know how good their matches would be. But again, no fucking build. Takahashi beats everybody, and then he's like, oi, Desperado, you want to fight me, man, at Wrestle Kingdom since nobody else can? And he's like, yeah, sure. Like, okay, cool. Great. I'm sure it'll be really good, but I don't care. IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championship match. Catch Tutu and War Dogs Juniors.
I was really amped for that, but it seems like since Super Juniors Tag League, the last few years when they were doing Super Junior Tag League and World Tag League at the same time, or Super Juniors and World Tag League at the same time, like fire's kind of gone out on that one a little bit.
Just because it was a long time ago, right? But you know, run some packages and stuff. I'm still pretty charged for that. I think that'll be cool.
Yes, that will be awesome.
Cool. Special singles match, Okada versus Danielson. I personally don't care about this. I'm off Danielson and all his injuries, and didn't fucking like Moxley had an eye patch fucking 2 minutes ago, and now he's lent it to Danielson, and now he wears an eye patch. Like, is this the fucking go-to injury for the Blackpool Combat Club? Come on, dude. Seriously, think about it.
I don't want to talk about fucking AEW right now.
Yeah, man. I know. I don't think he's obviously really injured. I think he'll be there, and I think it's all part of the storyline, and I think it's all excuses as to why Okada gets to beat him clean at Wrestle Kingdom, but so AEW can be like, oh, you know, it's just because Danielson was broken down. Homie, he broken down altogether. He need to retire. And then IWGP World Heavyweight Championship match, Sonata versus Naito.
Now they did just release a fucking fantastic promo package for that.
Really?
I before you judge that,
because I'm judging. There's already heavy judgment from me.
Please go watch it. Just dropped about like 2 or 3 hours ago. Please go watch the.
How long is it? Like, could I play it now or it's?
No. You're gonna have to sit down and actually watch it.
Okay.
They just dropped it in English recently. But it is fucking good.
Well, give me the cliff notes, because at the moment the way I see it is the match is not going to be good because I don't like how Sonata wrestles at all, and I feel like he's just a placeholder, and it's so Naito can do his last harazi. So, and if they swerved me and Sonata won, then I would be pissed off. And if Naito wins, I'll be like, nice for Naito, but you know, whatever.
Sonata's gonna win, and then when all of the fucking lights are out and all the cell phones are going, and the thing that Sonata does, and then Yu Uemura jumps him from behind and challenges him for the title.
Oh yeah, that would be cool. I mean, Yuya ain't been doing much. He just been a little boy. You know, he'd be young boy.
Yeah, I know, it's fucking sad.
I just they're making such a big deal of the fact that like I almost feel like he is gonna lose now, because they're making such a big deal of like Naito's only had one more chance at this surgery, and he's having it early in time for this main event. That's how important it is to him. Like, they're building all these stakes. That's like Naito has to do this now, or he never gets to do it. And I feel like maybe they're just gonna go, guess what? He never gets to do it. Like, that would be the most Naito fucking thing of Naito all time. Yeah. And the
promo package is fucking great. It shows like the 18-year road that these two have been on together, like from tryouts that they did together and stuff like that. It's fucking crazy, man.
Okay, maybe that's what wins me around, because a lot of the time you'll notice as I've gone through this and when I'm pissed off about shit, it's because there's no story. Or minimal story, and it feels haphazard. So that's pretty cool. There's definitely story there, because you got to look at like Sonata beating former LIJ compatriots on it. So he's beat Hiromu. He's beaten did he beat Shingo? No, he beat Evil. You know, he's beaten Suji, and now he's gonna go and try and beat Naito. You know, like he's been running through LIJ. Why does he run through his own squad though? Like,
to prove that he was the breakout star or something.
Like, I don't know, like, you're supposed to, but
I don't know her anymore.
Yeah, I guess LIJ are that sort of faction. Like, they're very competitive with each other. There's, I mean, fuck, you know, I think the only way I could really like Sonata is if in this match they just like went full heel with him, like kicking him in the eye and shit. You know what I mean? Like
great, wouldn't it?
Fucking ends his career kind of thing where he just like destroys his friend in order to keep his title. I'd probably be pretty into it, to tell you the truth, but then it wouldn't change how he wrestles, so it'd wear off.
So we've got 2 weeks. Was it 2 weeks? 3 weeks up until Wrestle Kingdom, and we've got the run of Korakuen Hall shows, before the end of the year and stuff like that we can watch how these storylines develop, and we'll get into Wrestle Kingdom a little bit further down the road when we record again. But there are 2 bits of news that I just saw pop up on my Twitter that I would like to get your thoughts on.
Absolutely.
The first one is that TNA Wrestling has signed Kushida.
What? Why?
That's I didn't know how would you react to that?
I mean, I couldn't care less, but like that's so random. Like to a full-time deal
for TNA, actually. But
I mean, it's a great pickup for TNA, and I personally don't even think it's a huge loss for New Japan. But like, why? Why?
I don't know. I'm just wondering why he's not. I thought it was a big deal that he came back. He got sick. He couldn't really do much of anything, and now he's gone.
Yeah, and we never got the like evolution because it kind of there was little threads sort of scattered that maybe he was caught in the past and maybe he needed to find the new him in order to succeed. But it's never
we just saw
happen.
chapter 1 of that start, and then it was over. The other bit of news.
Okay, that's really weird, but all right. I mean, he lives in the States, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, interesting.
The other bit of news is posted today to Twitter. Let me hit translate here. A clenched fist of youth in front of the lion mark. Stay tuned and see what's in store. Posted by Mr. Kenta Kobashi. Kenta Kobashi has got something in mind for New Japan. What do you think that could be? Is Kenta Kobashi going to be our new booker?
Clenched fist of youth.
A clenched fist of youth.
I don't know. Is it like a match on Wrestle Kingdom, or is he talking about going forward in the future?
No, he's so retired, like Kenta Kobashi is.
No, I don't mean him doing a match. I mean like a Kenta Kobashi booked match. He's like, I see that like all the young wrestlers on New Japan are not in any of the main events. I've spoken to New Japan management, and we're going to have like a fucking 6-pack challenge player with fucking all of the young guys to show who's going to be like the new one, going forward or something, like an opening match or something,
That would be fucking awesome. Doing like, fatal 6-way or whatever.
Yeah. And it's like a Kenta Kobashi, like, booked match, and then he's like fucking and he like gets in the ring at the end and hands him a trophy or whatever, and they get a picture with Kenta Kobashi. It'd be cool.
That'd be fucking sick.
Yeah.
That'd be fucking sick.
That would be cool. I'm into it. I think there is another piece of news that you've missed. It is the long-awaited return of the Masked Horse is coming up. The
Masked Horse!
Exactly. Raised by humans, abandoned by humans. Raised by horses, also abandoned by horses. Now, sometimes raised by wrestlers. Exactly. But he's not coming alone.
Bolton Oleg.
Yes, exactly. The masked Oleg. Who's that? I wonder
who that could be.
I know.
Oh my gosh. I bet he's going to be a big, strong boy.
I think he might be. He's going to be a Clydesdale.
He's going to be one of those war horses.
Yeah, exactly. Like Suchi used to be.
Oh man, it's going to be amazing. That's going to be so much fun.
He was my favorite character, the Masked Horse, and I'm so fucking excited to see him back. That is going to be really, really cool.
Oh hell yeah.
That's cool. Also,
the other thing that I wanted to talk about before we end the episode today, because I know you got a hard out here.
I got a very hard out, and we're talking like 16 minutes.
I want to talk about the Tuckman's Beer Bash.
Yes. Do we want to try fit this in, or is this going to be this whole episode? because we both watched PWA Tuckman's Beer Bash. Do I do a speed round on it? I fucking had heaps of fun with this show, man.
Dude, so much fun.
It was fucking
God. I'm so PWA
good.
pilled right now. It's fucking fantastic.
Yeah, it was worth the price of admission. It was so fucking fun. If you don't like have Fight Plus, you should get it and you should watch the Tuckman's Beer Bash from PWA, their new show.
Tuckman's Booker of the Year, Tuckman. Let's
exactly.
go.
And it's like the follow-up. It's the straight next show after Coliseum. So everything that you've seen in the Coliseum tournament now continues. And man, there was some fun matches on this. Like, it was so good.
Yeah, let's do a speed round. And
do I do a speed round? Hang on, let me get up because my memory isn't worth fuck. Let me just bring up the match list. Tuckman's. I thought we were going to do this as a new episode, but we're doing a speed round, and I think that is going to be very fun. So, that's the tickets, and the show has already happened. So, cage match, where you at?
Where the fuck you at?
This is precious seconds being wasted. Okay, here we go.
He's down to 14 minutes now.
Oh, no. It's not even 15. All right. Okay. So it says there was a pre-show match. I'm not sure we watched that. Four-way tag team match was SMS versus MK Plus Ultra versus Prima Pi Kappa and the Backslide Girls.
My Backslide Girls.
yeah. That was heaps of fun. I really enjoyed that. I like these multi-man tags they do. I also liked old mate from SMS on commentary as well. He was good.
Unsocial Jordan.
Unsocial Jordan on commentary. Yeah, that was really fun too.
He was great. Yeah. He was really good on commentary.
Yeah, exactly. Next up was singles match between Caveman Ugg and Mick Moretti. Fucking Ugg is like a member of the Bullet Club, very menacing. He's less caveman-y now and a bit more evil. Fucking really cool match and a cool ending, and they're really doing a good job of like setting up Ugg and our boy Bonza as challengers for those tag titles when they come back.
Yes, absolutely. Ugg is just like Man Mountain Beef.
He's
he's
a
just
weapon,
fucking so big.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Moretti, like I was like the first time I saw him was at the Coliseum, and I was just like, this guy's a fucking asshole. What's with his haircut? Who's this fucking jerk? And then, like the more I see him, like this guy's actually really fucking good. He's got to be Australia's best kept secret, man.
Yeah, he's one
really
of the main. I don't know exactly where he sits in it, but he's part of that PWA Brain Trust. Like he's one of the main guys over there and has been around for a long time and has had some New Japan matches and stuff over here and stuff as well. Amazing conditioning. Actually a great fucking wrestler and fucking crazy. Really enjoyed this match, and I thought it was a great dominant ending by Ugg. Next up was the Secret Santa Mystery 6-man tag team match, which I loved the premise of this.
Match premise ever. You reach into the stocking, you pull out your gift. It's either a lump of coal, which somehow all the heels got a lump of coal.
What's the chances?
And then all the good guys got a big old beer. Fucking PWA love their beer.
They do. They've got a great relationship with that sponsor. Hey, How do we get sponsored by beer? I would get double the beer because you don't drink.
I don't drink, so you can have all my share of the beer.
All right, we need to get onto this. PWA, hit me up. We will continue to review. You just got to introduce me to, I think it's Wayside Brewing. Next up was Soul of PWA title Beer Bash match. The Tuckman versus Will Keedus, the anchorman Will Keedus, I think he's called. Did you watch the security footage leading up to this match, like on YouTube?
Oh yeah, where like they had a row and a fucking.
They had a bar fight, yeah, exactly. Like Tuckman's walking through the bar, he's just got a fresh pint, and he gets like shouldered by a guy, and it's fucking Keedus. He's done it on purpose, and they sort of front up to each other, and then it shows security cam footage outside. And they're, face to face, and then Tuckman goes to walk away, and then Keedus like coward punches him from behind, which is a big thing in Australia that's killed a lot of people. So fucking they then have this wicked match. It was super enjoyable. But then what did you think of that ending? Because you and I were messaging, you're like, I love this Tuckman match. This is fucking sick. But I knew that you hadn't seen who comes out at the end.
So Tuckman chilling out, wins this hardcore match over Will Kiedis, proves his dominance as the soul of PWA champion. He does a fucking shoey in the ring, pulls off his fucking wrestling boot that he's just wrestled a fucking hardcore match in, pours a beer into that sumbitch and downs it. And then what do we hear? The theme song of Robbie Eagles. Oh my god.
Yeah, exactly.
Robbie comes out with, what was it? Black Justice, or
I think that was the name of when he won Coliseum. So he didn't win this current Coliseum, but he'd won the previous one. But he comes out with his sword and essentially points it at the Tuckman, challenging him for the Soul of PWA title, which is the only title in PWA he's never held. Yeah.
I did not know that the Coliseum sword offers you a money in the bank sort of shot anytime you want it. Stipulation.
It does. I asked Robbie about that, and he said it's sort of like, it's not kind of like a contract, but it's always sort of been insinuated that whoever wins does sort of get a match of their choosing.
Has earned something.
Earned something, and they can choose whatever that is, kind of thing. So if you come out with that sword and you fucking declare something, then it'll be, So, and everybody had thought apparently previously that Robbie was gonna go for Ricky South because he was like the long reigning champion, and they'd had a couple of interactions and stuff like that. But then obviously Ricky South ain't the champion anymore, and the Tuckman holds the one title that Robbie's never had. So it all wraps up nicely.
I did this thing on Twitter the other day through our Twitter at Okada Shorts, if you guys want to follow us. And it said, who are your 4 favorite champions in wrestling right now? Because you can add 4 pictures to Twitter. And I like straight up just was like, without thinking, Tuckman was on the list for me.
Yeah, wow. Already?
I love the kid. I love him. He makes me laugh so fucking hard. Mm-hmm. I think he's the fucking best. He's so entertaining.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was Zack Sabre Jr., Shingo is the Never champion, Michael Oku and Rev Pro, and the Tuckman.
Yeah,
fucking great.
That's awesome. I love that you love it. Next up was the Wayward Brewing Co. 6-pack challenge match, and Big Fudge returned and defeated Cherry Stevens, Jimmy Townsend, Scott Green, Tony Stellino, and Xander Sullivan.
My gal Cherry.
Yeah,
I love her.
She's so
much.
good. She's so good.
Yeah, that was fun. Big Fudge was a lot of fun. When he fucking showed up at Coliseum, I was like, who is this fucking nerd? But yeah, no, it's
an Australian legend is Big Fudge. I love that, like his music as well. Like I love that it's got the ice cream van. I'm like, what's this? And then it's like DMX.
Yep. That's Ooh, hey, that came out of nowhere.
Yeah, that was awesome. Next up was Suplex versus David
Suplex. Fantastic.
Suplex is great.
Wrestling drag queen.
Yeah, loved Suplex. Was so good. David Strieber won, but Suplex glorious in the eyes of the fans. So I'm looking forward to seeing more of Suplex. I really like that.
Yeah, that was good.
And then the banger of all bangers, PWA heavyweight title, 3-way match, Jessica Troy versus both the Velocities, Jude London and Paris De Silva, who were both finalists in the Coliseum. This was great because it's like a tag team and they're sort of working together like against her, but obviously they have to stop each other eventually, right? And so there was a lot of great interactions between them, like shutting each other down to like, get the best of her, and then how she won was really, was really cool as well. Like, she
it was fun seeing her overcome that using their own inability to communicate or come up with a plan together against them. That was pretty great. Some of the like grapple fuck stuff that they were getting into there, like where, he'd have her in a submission and she would have the other guy in a submission. Like, what a fucking great time. Like they went through and they sat down and they said, what the fuck can we do?
Yeah.
And they flew around the ring. They went all complete grapple fuck all over the ring. It was so much fun. Yeah. PWA is fucking killing it right now.
Yeah, it's really fun. In a world where like wrestling, well, how we started this show, we started a little bit somberly, you know, where wrestling burns us out and, you know, and things going on and everyone's got shit to say and stuff. I find like PWA to be like this little oasis that I can just dip into. I'm not really plugged into it online or anything like that. I can just, you know, drop on a show and just watch like a really great pro wrestling show. So yeah, really, really enjoyed it. I think it was awesome.
I feel like it makes me feel the same way as like watching RevPro does here. It really is. It's like that's the hometown promotion for me. That's the one that I want to go see. Like I'm going to see him this weekend. Me and Sipsy and Donna are going to go watch Will Ospreay take on Gabe Kidd.
Oh,
let's
fuck,
go,
that's
Gabe.
Gonna be sick.
Let's go.
That's going to be sick. What up, Sipsy? That's fucking cool, man. You guys are going to have so much fun.
Yeah, it's going to be a fucking killer match. And yeah, it's going to be fucking great, dude. I'm so excited. Like, and that sort of excitement is what's getting me like over the hump for wrestling right now. Like fucking, this is just, it's longest night. It's coming up.
Yeah.
And you know, the dawn is on the way, and that's Wrestle Kingdom and then New Year's Dash.
Yeah. Let's go. I'm really hoping for a New Year's Dash that they, you know, are going to throw some shit at the wall and see what sticks. I don't just want like a standard house show where nothing happens and it's just, you know, whatever. I would probably be quite upset if that happened. I need some storylines coming out of it.
Yep. 100%.
Absolutely.
100%, man.
Well, in these final 4 minutes, why don't you tell the people who we've been? Because we were going to do that intro in the first few seconds and we haven't done it yet.
Kind of did it.
Yeah.
Kind of did it.
Kind of.
Yeah, no. We have been your good friend Curtis Spears, your bad friend Rafe Houston. We've been the International Wrestling Grand Prix, the Kings of Pod Style, the King of Shorts.
That's us.
The Okada Shorts podcast. That's us.
That is us. And if you would like to get more content from us and our friends over on the Count Network, please do go check them out all on social media. We also do work for the Count Out podcast network's Patreon, so you can check out our sideshow there, Drop Your Shorts, which is just me and Curtis hanging out, talking shit about other things we like. So if you like
I
that,
just did a guest spot with Ryan of the Count Out Podcast Network for our Patreon called The Ballot. It's coming up with arguments for people to make it into the Wrestling Observer Newsletter Hall of Fame. We did about an hour and 10 minutes discussion about why Zack Sabre Jr. should be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Well, there you go. That is very nice. Riddle me this, Curtis. We spent the first 10 to 15 minutes of this podcast not talking about wrestling. Do I cut that out and turn it into a DYS episode? Or let's just leave it there as a little taster for the kind of shit that we'll talk about? Because we'll talk about comic books, we'll talk about, you know, Warhammer, we'll talk about movies.
We'll talk about the fact that you just watched one of my favorite movies of all time in Big Trouble in Little China.
Yes, we should talk about that next episode, maybe.
I'm wearing my low pan shirt.
Oh, there you go. That's sick. That is sick. Yeah, I hadn't really watched it growing up, so I just watched it recently. We haven't done an episode about that, but we're going to record again maybe on the weekend. So I think maybe try and knock out that DYS then, maybe. So yeah.
Yeah.
Put it on the docket.
For you kids.
Yeah, put it on the docket. All right then. Well, thank you for listening, everybody. You can check us out online at all the usual places, at Faces Feels Cast, at El Destructo 83, at Okada Shorts. And that's it. I'm going to sign this dude off because I need to go to work. So rate and subscribe, listen or die, keep it right, keep it tight, and most importantly, keep it what?
Shorts. I feel much better today. Thank you.
Excellent.
Ring Post Radio is the only show hosted by Ryan Knightsey and Scotty Edwards that talks about the entire world of professional wrestling. With new episodes coming out every Sunday, there is absolutely no reason to not listen to real, honest wrestling opinions from two crazy maniacs. Have a hot boy summer and listen along to Ring Post Radio every Sunday on the Countout Network. This has been a Countout Podcast.